This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies, using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. So if you want a bit of that, click the link in the description.
Hello everybody, real quick video, no need to beat around the bush. As we can see, Bitcoin is meandering up towards the top of this descending triangle. It is a bearish formation, and the reason for that is that obviously with every time we hit the top of the range, it's lower and lower and lower, which means that returns get smaller and the support stays the same, ending up crushing us into an apex to decide which way we want to go, or whether it be a breakout or a breakdown. But while you're inside a formation, it's not really a place to trade. Now, as you all know, I've been buying incrementally on the way down, 40,000, 35,000, 31,000, 27,000, because nobody knows where the bottom is. I made videos last week about a very interesting way of looking at this chart, which is to take away the price and just focus on the volume and time. Volume and time, we have a really nice indicator called the money flow index, which always is able to spot tops, and a top, and a top, and it also prints divergence on a weekly to spot bottoms. Divergence, bang, the bottom. Divergence, bang, the bottom. Divergence, bang, is that the bottom? The one thing that I would take away from this would be that it could be the bottom, but because it's so pronounced, you know, being a very low read on the money flow index and quite a high printed divergence, which is good because obviously it means that there's almost certainly going to be divergence. What I would say though is that there is a very strong possibility of that divergence being still absolutely fine, but price coming down to print another low. So we could be talking the 200 exponential, which is about 25, or simple, which is where bull markets usually begin, or accumulations before bull markets usually begin around the 200 simple moving average, and that coming in now a new weekly, but it's give or take 22,300. So there is a chance that we can come down all the way down to there and obviously still maintain the bullish divergence because it is so pronounced. Previously it was relatively pronounced. I mean, it's looking good in all fairness, which is why I said I think the bottom might be in. If you look at the price, it's difficult to say. If you look at the volume and the time aspects of it, it is appropriate. Bull market top, a period of downtrend, bullish divergence formed, and from the peak to the divergence, that was a year long, effectively a whole year long. And if we measure this from the peak to the divergence so far, we're a year and a half. So whether you match this is the bull market top, this is the bull market top, or this is the bull market top, it's been in effectively a bear market for quite a long time. That's a year and about 18 months. I mean, about 9 months. If you measure this as the top, it's still over a year. So I honestly think that if we're looking at the volume and time aspect of things, the bear market kind of began here as far as sentiment is concerned, and volume obviously. So price, volume and time, take away the price, look at the volume and time, we could easily have been printing, or already have printed that low now for the weekly, which suggests that the bull market, well, we might be looking to start a new bull market literally right now. But I know obviously everybody's going to be super bullish right now. I can only imagine the clickbait. In fact, I'm going to have to clickbait this myself just to compete with those Generation Z, guys that, obviously very attractive. They've probably got their muscles out and everything like that. They've done their hair in the morning. They've probably even had a shave. Obviously, I've not done any of that, which is why I don't even have my videos on anymore. But yeah, I need to compete, so please forgive me for the clickbait, which I've yet to decide. So either way, on the short-term time frames, though, yeah, we're still within the descending triangle. It's not broken out, so we can't get too excited. Although we could end up pushing towards the top of it, 22,007 or 800, and see where we go from there. 70% of the way through this formation is usually where you'd expect to see a break, whether it's to the up or to the down. Obviously, as far as time is concerned, this formation, yeah, it would be okay to see it break out. Now, if we have a quick look over here, this is your Nasdaq in the pre-market. Lo and behold, it's going up again, exactly as expected. Exactly as I expected. I was saying this. We've got bullish divergence forming over here, and I expect it to move up. Now, my analysis isn't on this chart. It's I don't break down the pre-market, but if we are looking at the Nasdaq in terms of its normal market, then yeah, there's many reasons to suggest that this is just going to get fizzled out like all the others. We could be moving up to 13,000 on our first pass. If we break through there, lo and behold, there is a descending trend line, just like on Bitcoin, right? They're all heavily correlated, right? They've been like this for a best part of 2 years. So we would expect to see rejection either here or here, and again, a rejection of this magnitude would be quite big, because Nasdaq is actually outperforming Bitcoin at the moment, right? So let's face it, the correlation is enormous. The resistances are above us. We do have that bullish divergence on the daily, which is great, and we would like to see it continue. However, I'm not really feeling that it's quite capable of doing that, and you wouldn't really want to try and trade this within a formation like this unless you came down to a very significant resistance. I would have waited for this one. Personally, I would have waited for that one just for a safer entry, because you all know that traditional markets are slow, and you don't want to be stuck in a slow asset just going down. The reason I thought that this area was the more appealing one is that this is basically where our 200 simple moving averages is coming in, just like Bitcoin. So this is the equivalent of Bitcoin's 22,000. This is your equivalent of Bitcoin's 25,000. They're more or less exactly the same chart, performing in exactly the same way, and I would expect them to continue like this for quite a little while, to be honest with you. So yeah, not massively in favour of either of these breaking out and going up to the moon, but I do like the way that they're shaping up in the short term. I would expect rejections on the first pass, so 13,000 for Nasdaq and 32,500 thereabouts for Bitcoin. But overall, it's okay. Let's have a quick look over here at your Bitcoin dominance chart. So we still haven't managed to move back into the box. Like I say, yeah, altcoins likely to get rallies anywhere from this area. Me personally, I'm not looking to part with any of my Bitcoin to go into altcoins until we at least get back into that box, because that box offers significant resistance. And on the first pass, I would be looking for a miniature alt season. But we turn on all the indicators, put it on a daily. I've said it before. Excuse me, the dominance chart only wants to go up, really. We've got conversion baseline crosses, we've got perfect Ichimoku cloud signals, perfect for continuation of a trend, and we've got golden crosses of all descriptions. So it does want to go up. So I'm not in any rush to alternate from a Bitcoin position into an altcoin position. Not really. The altcoins I bought were the ones, I just bought a couple of them on that big capitulation, potentially capitulation dump. I didn't, and I bought them just because they were at such a low area, and it was only Chainlink and Algorand. I wasn't going into any of the shit coins. It's just some of those two top ones, because I've got plans for them in the future, specifically for Algorand. But it wasn't because they were showing me anything. It was just that I thought they're too cheap not to at least top up with this fiat that I've got burning a hole in my pocket that's basically devaluing by the second. So I thought I might as well treat myself to some of that. But yeah, altcoins, they're going to move with the market. But are they going to move on their own? I don't see it. Not particularly. I mean, they could. That could be the rejection. Effectively, the first pass of the resistance box. But when you're fighting either a simple resistance or all these indicators to say we've got a trend forming which will take us through here eventually, and probably up to 52 and maybe even towards 60 over time, you don't want to get too clever. And like I say, even if we did get into this box, and I'd be looking for a resistance in this box rather than on the first pass, I would only be looking to, at best, put 20% of my Bitcoin into altcoins, and I would still be looking for small returns. I wouldn't be trying to chase hundreds of percent, which is what people are generally become accustomed to, because alt seasons, you know, they look like this, don't they? They don't generally look like this. I mean, they can look like that, but I wouldn't call it an alt season. That wouldn't be a very relaxing trade. That wouldn't be one of those ones where you go, yes, I've got the low of the altcoins, and you wake up day after day after day after day, week after week, and end up with 10, 20, 30 X's. You wouldn't do that here. You'd wake up with maybe 20%, 50%, and then you'd be crapping yourself as you move back up to these moving averages, and you'd be like, oh God, it's not going to continue. Just one more day. I'll just wait one more day, and then suddenly that day comes and you've lost it all, and you should have just remained in a Bitcoin position. Potentially. It's all about risk to reward, that's all I'm saying, and for me, the risk to reward, it doesn't really suggest altcoin favorable environment right now. Altcoins will move with Bitcoin as they are, obviously, you know, the market just moves as one in this stage, but Bitcoin remains the stronger asset as far as, you know, not so much, not particularly the strongest as far as I'm going to make the most money in the shortest amount of time, but over time, at least for the next few months, I would expect generally Bitcoin to reign supreme and be the safer place to be. And the higher we go, the more excited we can be about going into an altcoin position of larger size. It will come, don't worry. The whole market is heavily cyclical. We all know this. This is why I've always focused on this dominance chart. We can play this over and over and over and over, and all we need to do is think about going from Bitcoin to altcoins, Bitcoin to altcoins, Bitcoin to altcoins. We will sort it all out. It will be fine. But there's no rush. The biggest mistake any trader can do is to rush their position. The best thing to do is to treat it like going fishing. You sit there on the side, eat your sandwiches, listen to the radio, relax, and wait for the fish to nibble the hook. Then you reel it in. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be trading every single day, be afraid that you're missing out on the biggest gains because you woke up and an altcoin's gone up 20%, so you jump in that. That's not how you do it. You're never going to catch a fish by jumping into the river and trying to catch it with your teeth. That's probably the worst strategy to catch a fish. Best way to do, like I say, sit, eat your sandwiches, listen to the radio, and just relax and wait for it to happen. Anyway, that's enough for today. Anyway, I'm looking for potentially some more upside, potentially, but I think it would fizzle out, and I don't see us going any higher than 32,005. Really, I don't really see it going any further than that, and that's fine. It's just nice to see some upside for a change. Right, take it easy, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Join the Telegram, Patreon, and whatever else it is that you want to join. All the links in the description. Take it easy.